Hi everybody, this is BroncoJuggalo and Bill, and today we are doing not a horror film, not a comic book film,
We're doing
not a
something
sci-fi
different.
film. We're doing something a little different today. Today we're doing 1978's epic Watership Down. This is from the Criterion Collection, and this is definitely a different movie than anything we've ever reviewed before. Now, we've done some animated films before, but usually they're comic book, related or whatever. This, or at least, like stuff we grew up with, Transformers, stuff like that. This is a different kind of film for us. It's a movie about a warren of rabbits that decide they're tired of being oppressed, and they know that there is also a big danger coming. Something bad's going to happen.
Something bad.
So a group of them take off, and the powers that be try to stop them. And they go on this journey, and it's an epic journey to find a new home.
Yes. This movie, I saw this when I was maybe 5 or 6. And this movie stuck with me because it was just very different as far as a film that is put out there for kids. It's marketed to children. This is not exactly a children's film to me.
It really is about, it's a very political story. It's
yes.
It's about dystopian societies, and it's about all the different bad things that can happen when, I guess, in a way, the way I took it is a way when big government can get in the way and really screw things up for people.
When the powers that be get too big for their own heads and they think they're always right, and none of the little people, and that's the way they look, the little people are wrong. They don't know anything. It's only us. We're in charge for a reason.
I think there was a lot of inspiration taken from World War II on this one.
Well, this was also based off of a novel.
Yeah, it was based on a novel. And it's just, the whole movie is, in a way, it's kind of like Fritz the Cat. Not in the whole, sex and drugs and all that kind of way.
Yeah.
But Fritz the Cat was I don't want to use the word parody. It was an interpretation of the 60s. This is an interpretation of the world that was being lived in.
Yes.
And it's an amazing film, guys. It is truly an epic movie.
Yes.
And believe it or not, like I said, it's not a horror film. But there is a lot of violence. There's death. There's blood. There's gore. All on an animated level, and an animalistic level, which
and
makes for a very, unique film.
It's very unique. This film is so unique, and actually the book that it's based off of is the same way. It's about a rabbit warren. Weird name, though. We tried to figure out, why is it called Watership Down? The name of this makes no sense. But it was where...
Turns out in the book it's the hill that they find... where they find their new home is the hills called Watership Down.
Yeah. Other than that, the name makes no sense for this film. There's no boats, there's no water, but there's a lot of downs in this movie. And I don't mean downs...
Actually, there is boats and water in this movie. If you think about it, they get on it. Remember?
Oh, a raft.
Yeah,
that's not a boat.
No, there's a boat in the movie.
A rowboat?
It's still a boat. It's a boat, ain't it?
You can call that rickety thing a boat.
Yes, it's a boat.
Anyways, God damn it, you made me lose my train of thought.
That's not too hard to do.
I know, all you have to do is, shiny object or, even one of those little pointer lights and I'll go after it. But anyways, this is a beautifully done film. It's a passion project, actually, by our director. Who is our director?
This movie was directed by Martin Rosen. And it stars some of the biggest voice actors of the decade for, English voice actors.
Yes.
Some very big names in this. I can't remember any of them right now, but there's a lot of big names.
But yeah.
Actually, what's his name's in it? The guy that plays X in The Great Escape, he's in it. I forgot his name right now, and I know it too. That's what kills me. That's okay.
But still, this is a passion project. The director wanted to do this film.
And for me, another thing that lends it to the epic nature of the movie is the music.
Oh,
the
yes,
music
good
is
score.
just, it is an amazing score. And it brings me back to another 78 classic film that I like to think about with Halloween.
Oh.
Halloween wouldn't be the movie it is without the score, and
You're
I think
right.
the same thing with this film. The score is an entirely new part of the movie. It's an entire beast on its own. And without the score, this film would not have the impact it does.
I'd still say to have the impact, just not as much. All right. Pros and cons.
I really don't have any cons, and I didn't really look at this movie as a pros and cons film. I had a totally different way of just looking at it.
Okay, do tell.
Well, it's just, there's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about that, you know, and that was one was the score, which I just talked about.
Okay.
You know, the hand-drawn animation, the gripping storytelling, it all makes you feel like you're right in the middle of this giant epic that is a Lord of the Rings sized story on a just very human level, even though you're not dealing with humans.
Yes.
And it's just
Okay.
so, it just puts you right in the middle of it, and you feel it as if you're all going with it. Now, this is a movie, I will say too, a lot of people talk about, you know, we talked a lot about what's the best way to watch certain films. This is a movie that is, in my opinion, would be great to watch, and we didn't even have a soundbar or nothing. This is a movie that would be great to watch with surround sound.
Oh.
You know,
Okay.
big screen,
Alright, yeah.
high def,
Big screen we
surround
have.
sound. That we have, but we don't, you know, get that surround sound going, hear that music, hear that epic, you know, and it's a ride. It's a ride. You wouldn't think so. It's a cartoon, but you wouldn't think, but it's a ride.
It is. Okay. I have nothing negative to say about this film at all myself either.
Mm-hmm.
And going off the animation, it's beautiful. Not just because it's all hand drawn, it's a different type. I don't know what people call this, but I like to call it more of a gritty style. It's not clean.
It's old school. It
yes.
reminds you of
Lord of the Rings.
the old Lord of the Rings cartoons.
Fire and Ice.
Fire and Ice.
Heavy metal.
Not,
Heavy metal.
Not that, you know, we're not talking about an extreme, you know, look, there's no breasts and shit like that.
Yeah.
We're talking about the style, and also like older school Disney stuff from that era. What they call, I think it was the Renaissance era of Disney. Stuff like 101 Dalmatians, when you got, like, you know, the far out scapes, and it looks, you can
Yes.
tell that everything's hand drawn and looks very
But
good.
it's the whole movie.
And yeah, the whole movie. And then, like, you know, a lot of those kind of movies at that time, the Black Cauldron's another one that
Yes,
came
the
out,
Black
that kind of
Cauldron.
stuff,
Yes.
you know. It has that almost a darker animation style.
Like I say, gritty.
Mhm.
Gritty style.
You know, but beautiful.
It is.
Damn
It's a
straight, beautifully
done
illustrated film. You know?
And like you said, the music, very well done. The story, you get gripped into it right away from the very beginning. And there's a different kind of style of animation at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And there's a creation story of the world being created and everything. And I love this. The rabbit just sort of tells God to bless his ass.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. Yeah. Yeah, there is two different animation styles. You have your, like we talked about, that gritty epic style. And then you have this more, at the beginning, like this intro. It's almost like a trippy
Hieroglyphic.
style. It's more trippy. It's
Hieroglyphic,
like
huh?
you said it while we were watching it. If the animator was on acid.
Yeah,
You know,
but
it-
it's more like hieroglyphics. If hieroglyphics were to come to life and
Kinda,
start
yeah, I
moving.
know what you're saying. It was like they were trying to convey that it was ancient.
Yes,
You know?
yes. Trying to convey ancient and the story of, how everything came to be.
Right. You know, and just one more thing I wanted to say about that music.
Okay.
As I said, it's a character on its own. It goes from being as I said, it can be a fun frolic, which I don't know if you even know what the word frolic means.
People
It means,
do. Come on.
You know, happy, carefree, just kind of playing around. To, on a turn of a dime, goes to imposing and desperate
Dark.
and dark. And it's just so good. Got to give it up to the score and to the composer.
For setting the mood for any scene that you have in this film.
And as I said, it changes like that. So, guys, the only other thing I really had to say was I love the insane bird.
Oh, yes. The insane bird with a Russian accent.
Yeah, Russian or Kunish, I'm not sure.
I don't know, but
Like maybe some
he
sort
was
of
a nut
heavy
job.
Welsh. I don't know. It's crazy though.
Yeah, he was a nut job. The only thing I have to talk about this film more is the end of this film is just amazing. It's epic. You got your tyrant. You got...
When you get your final face off, you get...
Yeah, you get a face off, but not who you think.
Mm-hmm.
It's not your protagonist and your tyrant.
Mm-hmm.
It's your protagonist letting something else
Mm-hmm.
take care of it. We don't want to give away too much because it's amazing how many people have not seen this movie.
Right.
But the end is just absolutely beautiful, amazing. And then you go to the final ending, the final actual ending of the film, and it's peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
It has kind of a violent ending, but then a peaceful one at the same time.
You're definitely in for a ride if you watch Watership Down, and we definitely recommend it.
Oh, yes.
So go check it out. Tell us what you think. Come back, watch our review if you haven't watched it already.
Yes.
And peace, y'all.
And this is Bill saying good night.
Talking about mob shit. Couple $100 grand, nah, ain't much. One phone call, you can get touched. Jimmy gave Tommy a to-do list. Good fellas always got a full clip. Keep the family biz on the down.